Greetings viewers and fellow game enthusiasts. Welcome to the first review of the Three Musketeers TV channel. Today we're going to look at a very cool 80s game, Enduro for Atari 2600. You might have heard about the developer of Enduro, because they are still around nowadays. But sadly, they're not the king of Atari games as they used to be. They do not develop games anymore. They publish games, in which most cases when you play them, you're not allowed to use your imagination anymore. But Enduro is an absolute Activision classic, and it really showed their expertise when they made games for Atari's console. So, what do you actually do in Enduro? Well, they challenge you to be a pro driver in the National Enduro for a couple of consecutive days. While you plummet the gas pedal and your in-game character is fighting against sleep and starvation, the objective is to overtake the amount of cars presented in the low right corner of your instrument panel. If you do this successfully, you'll be granted with another day of racing with an increased rate of race cars to take over. And be aware, they are aggressive. So, if you thought that was the least of your worries, then you'd be very wrong. While the other drivers are very mad at you for no particular reason whatsoever, the weather isn't your friend either. As you progress, the weather changes significantly. It will become night, which renders the other cars almost invisible, except for their headlights, while also making it harder for you to evade them. During the night, a fog may set up, which leaves you with a limited range of visibility, giving you less time to react. On that note, braking occasionally actually works here. So, while you're rapidly pressing the control button to accelerate, rocking the joystick left and right to steer, and occasionally back to brake in case things get too hot, you're still not able to relax. Ice patches make it harder for your car to steer on the road, and remember, you only have one day to take over all the needed cars. This is where the strategic aspect of Enduro kicks in. I tried to take over as many cars as possible during daytime, where no natural elements would hinder me, without crashing and losing cars in the progress. This way I could take more time on the ice and night parts, but eventually that will become a close call. When the game is eventually over, miles driven and the days you've successfully passed will act as your score.
Yes.
According to the manual, if you pass 5 or more days in the game, you can win a Roadbusters emblem if you photograph your television screen. I'm assuming it's still valid, so I'll be sending that in very soon.
Only thing I gotta do now is drive until it's daylight again. And hope I don't die.
If you're looking for a cool, classic Atari racing game, Enduro is the way to go. I found the collision to be somewhat frustrating and unfair at times, but not in extremes. Then again, you'll only pay a couple of bucks for the cartridge, a few dollars more if you're after the box and manual. The game is fairly common, so you'll eventually end up with it somehow.
This is hard. First level was pretty pretty hard. There's a bomb in my car. If I don't take over 150 cars, the bomb will explode.
So, run out there and go find it, or wait until it falls onto your lap. Be sure to not crash into Michael Knight though, when you're playing it.
I'm not gonna make it. Those corners, man.